Hey there, this is the One Boom, and welcome to my first class setup video for Modern Warfare 2. I know we are months into the life cycle, and I probably should have been pumping these out earlier, but this is around the time that people start to get a little bit bored of the current Call of Duty. The Call of Duty cycle starts to take effect, and most of you aren't bitter haters. You want to enjoy Modern Warfare 2, you want to have fun in it, so I think these types of videos that I want to put out on top of my weapon reviews and overviews, I think are going to be a lot of fun because, well, yeah, I can review the M4 and say, hey, it's pretty good, here's some good attachments, but what's more fun, what's more interesting maybe even, is here's the M4 sort of filling a role that you might not have thought it was good for, because the roles are sort of the important part of Call of Duty, and this perk system be damned, we can still embrace our playstyles and pick our roles because Infinity Ward, try as they might, won't get in the way of our fun, right? So anyway, that wasn't supposed to rhyme. So this is a unique flanking class. This is for larger maps, medium to large maps that have good flank routes. I would say Turok, Hydroelectric, El Asilo, or Embassy, maybe Museum, actually definitely Museum. They're the maps I'm thinking of when I think of just what this gun is good for. It's not really for super long range engagements, and it's also not really good for a bunch of, you know, head-to-head engagements and more aggressive play. This is way more oriented around being safe. So if you want a reason to try this, if you want a reason to continue watching this video, I'll tell you this, I got flashed and stunned considerably less using this loadout properly. I also should say, I have to admit, I almost didn't make this video because one of the gimmicks of this class didn't end up working as well as I'd like it to. Two of the gimmicks actually didn't end up working as well as I'd like them to, but that be damned, this is still a really fun class. So getting into this is about flanking. This is about going on long flanks, taking your time, getting behind the enemies, and causing a little bit of hell in their spawn. So we have the M4 for this because it's versatile. It's got a good fire rate. It's good at winning gunfights. It's not lowest recoil, but it's not highest recoil either. So it's a good balanced, versatile gun. So I wanted to sort of see just how versatile I could make it. So that was sort of the goal when I was working on this, is how versatile can I make the M4. So we have the M4 here. We have all of our bases covered. So we have a suppressor for all the benefits of a suppressor. I went with the Silent Fire XG6 because it helps with recoil control, recoil smoothness, and bullet velocity. That's what I wanted. I didn't want anything that was going to damage my velocity or damage range. And then we have a 1 milliwatt laser box. This is super simple. It just helps with our hipfire accuracy, but there's no visible laser, so you don't have to worry about a visible laser when you're flanking. It'll help you with your hipfire, and it's helped me pretty often, pretty well. Then the next thing we have is the 45 round magazine. That 45 round mag, it's just really nice. If you're used to running 30 round mags because the larger mags are too heavy, I recommend giving them a try. They are a luxury and a treat, especially when you're going on long flanks and you don't really know how many enemies you're going to come across. It's really nice to be able to take all of them out. Like, you can take out an entire 6v6 team, you know, with this mag. So then you also have armor-piercing ammunition. We'll get to that more in a second. Obviously, though, just the versatility of using armor-piercing rounds in this game is super slept on, super underrated, because you can just shoot through all the cabinets and desks and covers and posts and beams and pillars in rooms. And so when you enter a room, somebody's not going to walk behind, like, a little bit of railing on a staircase and end up having that block the bullet. It'll go through. It seems like it's not just they increase the damage through materials, it increases the penetration. Like, it actually will allow you to penetrate walls you weren't normally able to penetrate. And then the last one, a lot of you sweaty players especially, or just iron sight fanatics, are not gonna like that I went with the BP Z40 hybrid optic, but there's a good reason for this. One, I want this class to be refreshing. I want you to use things you don't normally use, but also it is really good. It's a really clean optic. It gives you a 5.5 times magnification, and although that scope does give you a small sniper glint, you do have the option for a very clean little red dot on the side, and it's very fun to swap between them. My thinking behind this is that you have a laser sight for close range engagements, so like really close range, and then you have a red dot for your average engagement, and then if you are in a position to use that scope, then I would say mount up and use that scope. You have 45 rounds of ammunition. You don't need, you know, super low recoil to get kills. You have the ammunition to get kills. So I would recommend just, you know, mounting up on some cover and taking people out of range. So again, when you're flanking, especially on maps like Turok or Museum, you might find yourself in a position where you're having to take out the person who is first watching the lane you're trying to flank, and that's gonna be pretty hard if your gun is just set up for aggressive close range combat. Flanking with just an SMG, in my opinion, and especially on larger maps, is a bad idea. So this sort of was to remedy that. It's still lightweight, it's still gonna be snappy, and the recoil is low enough you can challenge somebody at mid to long range, especially again, if you take the time, slow down a little bit, and mount. And that's it for the M4's attachments. The M4 is basically set up here so that you have hip fire up close, armor-piercing rounds for versatility, 45 rounds for multiple targets, and the ability to spray and pray a little bit, especially with that 1 milliwatt laser. You know, in close quarters, you don't have to worry about running out of ammo. And that suppressor is going to keep you off the compass, and it's going to just make your firing profile that much smaller. It might help you out that much more. And then the hybrid optic allows you to cover 2 different range of engagements. And again, you want to be able to take out the people that are watching the lanes you're flanking or trying to flank, and you won't be able to do that if you just have a solo red dot. I mean, you will, but this is kind of fun, okay? Just play along a little bit. Now, when it comes to my handgun of choice, I have the X12 here, sort of for the tactical Glock look. I really like this. I have a lightning fire trigger, the Cronin Lima 6 rear grip, which allows you to do the pistol fast draw, which looks amazing. Then you have the Slimline Pro optic. When it comes to laser and muzzle, it's sort of up to you if you want to aim down sight faster or hip fire better. Again, that's totally up to you. I really like this sidearm because it just looks cool to, you know, have a gun where you're toggling between a high zoom optic, a low zoom optic, and then dropping the gun to your chest and then drawing your pistol really quickly with the quick draw grip. It's just really cool. So definitely recommend you have a lot of fun with that, because again, part of this class is just to look and be a little tactical. And yeah, just bear with me because it gets a little weirder here. I have a heartbeat sensor and a throwing knife on this class, and I think a lot of you are gonna be like, hey, that's dumb. Hear me out. Heartbeat sensor, you're not using it. I know none of you are using it. It's not really even being used against you. I'm pretty sure the only thing that counters it is Ghost. So up until people start unlocking their Ghost perk, it's actually really good for opening rushes, because you can run up to a building, hold up your heartbeat sensor, and then you can know if there's, you know, 1, 2, or 3 people ahead of you. That's all you really need to know, is how many people are ahead of you, and then you can put it away. Is it that useful? No. Is it fun to use occasionally and actually get some kills because of? Yes, and I recommend you give it a try, because don't be such a stick in the mud. You're watching, you clicked on a video where I'm telling you how to make a class. Don't get bitchy with me. Anyway, then we have a throwing knife. So the throwing knife is great because the throwing knife gives you the option to panic knife. So then we have all of our ranges covered here. We have the hip fire ranges, the red dot ranges, the scoped ranges, and then they are literally sprinting right into your face, and which can happen a lot when you're flanking. When you're flanking, enemies aren't prepared for you, they're not ready for you, and then, you know, you don't want to have to, you know, try to win a gunfight every time. So in those I'm bumping into you gunfights, turn them into knife fights and you'll win them. So remember, the throwing knife allows you to, of course, silently kill people, and then it also has the ability to panic knife. Okay, so then our perk package. Okay, I know a lot of you are not going to be happy with the lack of fast hands or quick fix, but I think you're gonna get this. Scavenger gives us more knives, so if we do want to actually use our throwing knives as throwing knives, we can replenish our knives faster and more often. Tracker is going to keep us just that one bit more undetectable, and I think Tracker is essential for flanking because you don't know where an enemy has been once you have flanked to their side of the map, so Tracker's good for that. You'll see their little footprints going behind a corner, you go, hey, you know, there's an enemy, and it's going to help you seek out enemies while you're flanking. And then also, you know, Scavenger is going to keep you in the fight, it's going to keep giving you ammo, so as you're running around and trying to win these gunfights and trying to go on some streaks, Scavenger is going to be good. So we're trying to stay as invisible as possible, and we're also trying to stay stocked on ammo as possible. I'm trying to get the most amount of intel possible. So Tracker and Heartbeat Sensor are for the intel, and then Scavenger is really good for staying in the fight. We have our quick draw pistol, we have our laser sight, hybrid sight M4. You know, we are basically covered on every range here. There's nothing that's gonna happen to you that you're not ready for with this build. Then Cold-Blooded and Ghost. Cold-Blooded, I wanted to swap out for Spotter so bad because it's a more unique choice, and I thought, hey, it'd be really cool to not have to worry about claymores while flanking. But the thing is, people call in VTOLs a lot. You don't want that VTOL taking you off your flank. Cold-Blooded's gonna hide you from that. It's gonna hide you from stuff like sentry guns and spotter scopes and recon drones and tactical cameras, and also, almost most importantly, there's no point in flanking enemies if they have high alert. If they have high alert, every time you get behind them, they're gonna know, they're gonna turn on you, they're gonna start shooting at you. We're trying to be invisible, so we don't want to trigger that, so cold-blooded. And then Ghost, I don't have to get into Ghost. You don't want to be on people's UAVs, portable radars, and heartbeat sensors. You're essentially invisible to everything here except snapshot grenades, but nobody's throwing snapshot grenades on their flank, and if you're on their flank, you should be fine. And overall, that's this build. It's pretty fun, right? Well, now we have our field upgrade. Field upgrade is a little bit up in the air, but I would recommend using Dead Silence and Tactical Insertion. And the reason I say Dead Silence and Tac Insert is because Dead Silence, obviously, you guys know how that works. You want your footsteps to be silent, and that's great. Keeping in mind that melee kills, gun kills, and throwing knife kills will increase the duration, so you're really covered on that front because you're going to be able to get melee kills and throwing knife kills. Then you have Tac Insert. Tac Insert is when once you've completed your flank and you've gotten some kills, you want to stay over there. You want to continue to be a thorn in their side. Once you get on their flank, you get to a nice hidden position, put down a Tac Insert, so even if they kill you, which they are likely to do, let's be honest, you're flanking in Call of Duty, especially Call of Duty where the stealth builds are this shit. You know, it's really hard to just be completely unseen. So they're gonna kill you eventually, probably. So you want to Tac Insert down. I have gotten some kill streaks with this class, but you are gonna die more often than not if you're pushing spawn. So a Tac Insert is just really not a bad idea. Now, the gimmick of this class that I thought was going to be better, and the reason I haven't mentioned it till now is I don't care if you've clicked away already. If you've clicked away already, you've probably done yourself a little bit of a favor. I had this idea of using armor-piercing rounds on the M4 to shoot down UAVs, and while the armor-piercing rounds are really great at shooting down CUAVs, shooting down UAVs with this particular M4 build sucked. It just sucked all 7 ways from Sunday, and I really feel bad about it. I wanted that to be like the leading gimmick, like, hey, I know that you still show up on the minimap if they have a UAV, even if you're suppressed, and like that sucks. And so I was gonna say fix that by running armor-piercing rounds, shooting down their UAVs. Doesn't work, unfortunately. Like honestly, like the larger mag, the armor-piercing round, shooting down UAVs, this would have been an amazing class in Modern Warfare 2019, but here it's more of a unique, refreshing class to try out for novelty's sake. And if you're clicking on videos like this, I feel like you're looking for a little novelty, you're looking for some fun ideas. And I hope this video gave you 1 or 2. Unfortunately, that gimmick doesn't work super well. You are gonna be better at shooting down streaks, which is nice, so do help your team with that when you can. But really what I found to be so fun about the armor-piercing rounds was just entering a room and you see like an enemy behind like a bookshelf or something, and you just don't care about the bookshelf, you just blow right through it. They're behind like a concrete pillar, doesn't matter, just blow right through it. And it's really nice when someone's head glitching and you can just shoot through like the brick wall beneath them and take them out. So really experiment with that. There are walls that you can only penetrate seemingly with armor-piercing rounds. So it does give that gun that extra bit of versatility. And I think we have a very versatile build here. It doesn't excel at long range, you know, precision shooting or close range rapid shooting, but it's really good at being versatile, which is to say it's pretty good at just kind of being there and not having you worry too much. So this is my unique stealth flanking class. If you like it, please leave a like, and if you used it, come back into my comment section, let me know what you thought about it and what changes you would make to it. If you hate the hybrid optic, I'd recommend removing that extra large stick from your butt. Anyway, thank you guys so much for watching, and remember, brush your teeth, and any thoughts you have about your life after midnight are probably bullshit. Go to sleep.